Norwegian or it's better in English?
You can speak in Norwegian.
You can speak Norwegian. What about you?
No English.
English? Yeah. Maybe I'm going to put the SATs. Okay. Welcome to the Sunday class in Islam Bergen. Today we will be reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is with the purports or comments by His Divine Grace, Sri Prabhupada. And we will be reading from the chapter 16, verse 5.
16?
16,
5.
verse 5. And first we will say invoke the mantra, which makes everything confusion and Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Daivi Sampati Mokshaya.
Daivi Sampadi Mokshaya.
Nibandhaya Suri Mata.
Nibandaya Surimata.
Ma Shucha Sampadam Daivim.
Ma Shucham Sapadam Daivim.
Abhijatosi Pandava.
Abhijatosi Pandava.
Daivi Sampati Mokshaya.
Daivi Sampadi Mokshaya.
Nibandhaya Suri Mata.
Nibandaya Surimata.
Ma Shucha Sampadam Daivim.
Ma Shucha Sampadam Daivim.
Abhijatosi Pandava.
Abhijatosi Pandava.
Daivi Sampati Mokshaya.
Daivi Sampadi Mokshaya.
Nibandhaya Suri Mata.
Nibandaya Surimata.
Shucha Sampadam Daivim.
Ma Shucha Sampadam Daivim.
Abhijatosi Pandava.
Abhijatosi Pandava.
And now you can chant this.
Daivi Sampadi Mokshaya.
Daivi Sampati Mokshaya.
Nibandaya Surimata.
Nibandhaya Suri Mata.
Ma Shucha Sampadam Daivim. Abhijatosi Pandava.
Daivi Sampada Vimokshaya.
Daivi Sampada Vimokshaya.
Nibandaya Surimata.
Nibandaya Surimata.
Masucha Sampadam Daivim.
Masucha Sampadam Daivim.
Abhijatosi Pandava.
Abhijatosi Pandava.
Daivi Sampadi Mokshaya.
Daivi Sampada Mokshaya.
Nibandaya Suri Mata.
Nibandaya Surimata.
Mosucha Sampadam Daivim.
Masucha Sampadam Daivim.
Abhijatosi Pandava.
Abhijatosi Pandava.
Daivi.
Daivi
Transcendental.
Transcendental
Sampad.
Sampad
Assets.
Assets
Vimokshaya.
Vimokshaya
Meant for liberation.
Meant for liberation.
Nibandaya.
Nibandaya
For bondage.
for bondage.
Asuri.
Asuri
Demonic qualities.
demonic qualities.
Mata.
Mata
Are considered.
are considered.
Ma.
Ma
Do not.
do not.
Shujaha.
Suchaha
Worry.
Vari
Sampadam.
Sampadam
Assets.
Assets
Daivim.
Daivim
Transcendental.
Transcendental
Abhijata.
Abhijata
Born of.
born of
Asi.
Asi
You are.
you are
Pandava.
Pandava.
O son of Pandu.
the son of
of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Brothers, Lord Krishna encouraged Arjuna by telling him that he was not born with demonic qualities. His involvement in the fight was not demoniac, because he was considering the pros and cons. He was considering whether respectable persons such as Bhishma and Drona should be killed or not. So he was not acting under the influence of anger, false prestige, or harshness. Therefore, he was not of the quality of the demons. For a kshatriya, a military man shooting arrows at the enemy is considered transcendental, and refraining from such activity is demonic. Therefore, there was no cause for Arjuna to lament. Anyone who performs the regulative principles of the different orders of life is transcendentally situated. The transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Pandu, for you are born with the divine qualities. Om Bhagavate Vedantasya Niranjana Shalakaya Chakshurmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swarupa Bhaktam Vedanta Hare Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinam Jagatpate Gopishar Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurande Yanta Vrinda Vineshwari Rishabha Sudre Shanamaya Hare Krishna Panchakalpa Tarubhyascha Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So, can any one of you say me what the 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita is called? What is related to this chapter? The divine and the demonic nature. Yes. In this chapter, Krishna describes two different types of natures, which we can develop by allowing the certain qualities to find, to let grow in our heart. And it's not like, although like Arjuna, he was born with the divine, like divine nature. As for us, as simple persons, we can either be like on that one side or on the other side. And it is said that like in our society, we very often can hear on like advices to work on our qualities. We have heard it. Different methods, different techniques to like work on to develop. But as for the devotee, person who has a strong faith in God and strong love for God, these qualities they arise in the hearts naturally. It's not something which one has to train on, just develops automatically. Because the practice we have, it's a practice which purifies our heart, and allows us naturally to develop the qualities which are considered to be divine. In general, like in this society, such qualities are very much appreciated, and there were made some researches on this topic, everyone likes to be a leader in a modern society, and it's considered like to be a leader is like very I'm sorry for lacking some English words, but everyone almost wants to be a leader. But what is a good leader? And some researchers, common researchers, not among the devotees, but people in general, showed that the most appreciated qualities, two of them were, just try to guess what kind of qualities. Two most appreciated qualities of a leader. What do you think? What kind of qualities were?
Bhagavad Gita?
No, in general.
In
In general.
Yeah.
It was research made among, like different companies, big companies with many employees, and they have employers. And it was a research like on what kind of qualities they
That they should have.
yeah, they
knowledge.
expect that a leader will have.
Leader sets the example. Sets the example. Or
A good example.
Yeah.
Mm.
And he should have knowledge
Knowledge.
and be considerate.
Yeah. Take consideration to the others. So I guess what the two most appreciated or expected qualities were compassion and humility. And these are like two qualities which we find in a description of a Vaishnava, pure Vaishnava or pure devotee of Krishna or God. Kripalu, it's compassion and being very kind. And humility, it's amana. It's a person who never is after respect from himself, but always shows respect to the others. Manada or amana, these qualities of a devotee. So it's not only among this society of Krishna consciousness, the devotees are after this, develop these qualities. It's not only here it's emphasized, but in society in general too. Let us read what Krishna said to Arjuna, how he described the divine qualities in the 16th chapter, in the verses from 1 to 3. Maybe you can remind me what kind of qualities he mentions there. Or I can read. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of a sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault-finding, compassion for all living entities, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, and freedom from envy and from the passion of honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Bharata, belong to godly men endowed with a divine nature. So, what does Krishna say in the 5th verse, as we read just before? That these divine qualities, they lead to what? to freedom.
Yeah.
And the demonic qualities lead to what?
Bondage.
Bondage. So who needs the most to acquire these qualities? It's ourselves, right? It's for our own benefits. Because the more we have those negative qualities like envy, anger, pride, like tendency to compete with others, hatred, and so on, a tendency to take revenge, the adversity for us, finding the fault in the others, criticizing others, and so on. These are the qualities which we can get rid of by practicing Bhakti Yoga. And this process of Bhakti Yoga is, first of all, sadhusanga. It's association with the other devotees, especially those devotees who are free of all these negative qualities. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mother Lila defined the description of three kinds of devotees. Uttama Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, and Kanishta Adhikari, right? And what are the symptoms of Uttama Adhikari? It's a devotee of like topmost class. Such a devotee has, he is first of all, he is an expert in Shastra. He can like everything about Shastra, and he is very much convinced. He has complete faith in process, in God, in Guru. It's a person whose faith is like nothing can
Shake it.
yes, shake it. That's right. But it's not fanatic at the same time. It's a description of the qualities of such a devotee, Uttama Adhikari. Then we have next level, it's a devotee in the middle, Madhyama Adhikari, and his symptoms are he has a very strong faith, but he is not so much expert. So maybe he cannot always convince the others, but he has very strong faith. No one can shake his faith. Did you want to ask?
Sorry. One of the quality of Madhyama Adhikari is capacity to discriminate, to see the people, understand the people. This is very important. Just to help someone, but to decide what is not when your help is not enough.
Yes, thank you. That's right. And he builds his relationships with others accordingly. He is like friend with the equals. He is maybe you can help us, Mukti Prabhu.
He's respectful to the superiors,
Yeah.
and then he has compassion with the juniors.
Yes,
These three kinds of relationships, he knows how to handle them.
yes. And then we have Kanishta Adhikari. It's a person who is
Learning.
like in the
Learning. The person who is learning.
learning. Yes, exactly. And his faith is not so strong. It's a person who can be convinced about it. What you are doing, what you're practicing is just bullshit. Just forget it. Just move on. Just a joke. And if he sees something that he does not agree with, it can convince him on like leaving the path. Yes, but it is said that even Kanishta Adhikari can come to the level of the topmost devotee, Uttama Adhikari. It's a process, and he has to follow it, and it's written in Chaitanya Charitamrita that those who have come to the second level, they are most fortunate, saying that. And what's to say about those who have come to the topmost level? Further, in Stein Chittagam, it is described 26 qualities of the pure Vaishnava. And what is remarkable is that Sri Krishna describes also 26 Hare Krishna qualities of a person who has divine nature. It's the same, 26 qualities. They're a little bit not the same, and in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that those 26 qualities, they are not all, they're much more. Those 26 are the most important qualities. And the first of them is that quality, Kripalu. It's the devotee is very kind to others. He is merciful. The second quality, the next one, is Akrita Droha. Such a person is not envious of the others, and he always acts for the benefit of the others. He does not do things which make wrong, like worse for the others. It's a very nice quality. Then we have Satyasada. It's truthfulness, like being honest. A devotee speaks honestly. He does not have any tendency to lie. Please come. What do you think this quality to be honest, is it important or not? I would like you to speak among each other, your neighbors, about what do you think, why this quality is so important. Just 1 minute. And don't be afraid of your neighbor. Everyone is like vegetarian here, they don't buy it.
Yes, why is it so important to be honest?
Good question.
One thing is that I want to suffer oneself. When you suffer oneself, because you have a conscience. And if you do something not correct, inside you want to make it. Making good relationships with your teachers. When you do the right thing, one way is right, and one way you have to yourself. This is one of the occasions. Yeah, you give bad reputation. When you're not honest, other people will pick up, and they will go, will spread, and you're not honest. You know, one feel like benefit oneself by being dishonest. I mean, that's why people are dishonest, because they think they're benefit.
Can you tell us what you have been discussing?
Yeah, so we discussed 2 points.
Sell some product and not deliver actually the new product.
Now we will
We are money from this.
I'm so sorry. Now we are finished with the discussion, and we will have somebody will share what they have come to.
So we discussed 2 points. One was that if you're honest, only then the other person can trust you, because otherwise the other person doesn't know whether, what are you speaking the truth or not. And the other one was that then only the other person will respect you if you proved that you're an honest person.
That's a very good point. That's true. What about you, your group?
No, please.
Just at least one
Yeah,
most important.
one cannot be happy inside if one is dishonest.
So tell me about yourself. Yeah. We are discussing the next quality of Vaishnava, which is one of them is Satisada, being honest and truthful. Truthful. What about you?
I think this is the most beautiful jewelry one can wear, internal jewelry, that gives self-satisfaction and the one character which Krishna always loves.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yes, and at least in the scriptures, it is not allowed to lie or to witness falsely. And why? Because it can damage others too. Telling something that is not true, or what's the truth, especially when another person is involved, can damage that person, innocent person. So it's very important to avoid such things. Next quality which a pure devotee has, it's called samma. Maybe you know what it means. Samma. Equal to everyone. He does not discriminate others. And what is the reason why a devotee, what does a devotee have such a quality? How to achieve such a level, to be equal to everyone? Because usually we have this tendency if you see someone who is like has less economy, we can look down such a person who is materially not so much advanced as us maybe. And vice versa, if you see someone who has a better economy or a higher position, we can do what? Show maybe false respect and such things. But equal vision is best. Not to look down, not to look up.
If sometimes to your teacher or your guru or who is giving you some knowledge, you would like to look up to that person.
Yeah, like to learn, but not to, it's like a little bit different, like if someone has a little bit more, we can have also the tendency to be envious and even to hate such a person, when the heart is not pure. But the devotee has equal side. Due to what?
Because seeing God is actually doing.
Because he has spiritual knowledge, and he first of all sees that everyone is spiritual soul. And secondly, he sees God in everyone's heart. That's why he shows respect. But it's not artificial respect. It's it's very real.
Yeah.
Yes, it's not a play, and it comes from one's heart because one has himself connection with God and sees the same God in everyone's heart. So when one shows respect to the others, one shows respect to the super soul, to Paramatma, in the heart of these other living beings. So we have this next quality of a devotee which is called Nidosha. Nidosha means that he is not looking after fault in other people, and he himself is free from all fault. Next quality is Vardanya. It means he's very like Chaitai Mahaprabhu. Vardanya, yeah, this says that mantra.
Magnanimous.
Magnanimous, yeah, he has a huge heart and he wants to share. Like Chaitai Mahaprabhu, he shared the holy name to everyone. It's a person who is very charitable. So next quality is Mitra. means he's very kind, he's very mild. We see it also in Bhagavad Gita, in these qualities which Krishna mentions. Gentleness, it's that quality, the same quality. And then we have Shuchi, or cleanliness, inside and outside. It's pureness. Next quality is Akinchana. The pure devotee is free from all of desires to have material possessions. He's not so much on that, having so much passion on acquiring, seeing what some others have and immediately wanting to have the same, acquiring the same. It's very nice to have such a freedom from such drive, because one becomes automatically what? Shanta, peaceful too. It's also one of the 26 qualities of a pure Vaishnava. Some other qualities are Akama, he does not have material desires. Aniva, he is not so much on gaining material profits. Then other qualities are Vitamuk, he controls his eating, he does not eat too much.
Control?
Eating. Vijita Shadguna, he is on control of the 6 negative qualities which you have, like envy, pride, and so on. Jealousy, exactly, yes. He's friendly, Maitra. He's Karuna is he is very compassionate. He feels compassion to the others. He does not like seeing others suffer. No physically, no emotionally. It's a very nice quality too. Then we have such quality as Krishnaika Shradana. He is completely surrendered to God, to Krishna alone. Eka, Krishnaika Shradana. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that Krishna is the source of everything. He can give everything. He is the Supreme Lord. That's why there is no any need to surrender to anyone else. One who surrenders to Krishna, he gets everything. And furthermore, such a person acquires all the wonderful qualities of Krishna himself and of a pure devotee. Or even not pure devotee, but the demigods, the qualities of the demigods. And those 26 qualities which I'm trying to mention now, they are among those qualities. Next quality is Daksha. He's an expert in many things. Kavi, he's poetical and he's wise. And we can find many examples of pure devotees who compose different prayers, different poems, due to they develop this quality naturally. And then we have that quality which is called Mauni. He is, can you help me? Silent, yes. He is not speaking on something what is not relevant to these topics which can elevate him. So he controls his speech, in other words. So these are mostly those most important qualities, and Kripalu is that quality which it's the first which is mentioned, and we find one of the examples in Srimad Bhagavatam of Vaishnava. It was Maharaja Parikshit, who was very, very kind and merciful, and we know that story when he meets Kali. Maharaja Parikshit was riding on a horse, and suddenly he sees a person who was dressed as a person from like a lower class. It was a lower class person who was dressed as a king, like, and that person was beating an ox.
Bull.
An bull. It's bull. That's right. And that person was Kali. And Maharaja Parikshit wanted to punish that person, to punish Kali and Krishna. And Kali started praying to him. He asked him to show mercy. And Maharaja Parikshit, as a person who was Krishna's devotee, he showed Kali that mercy. He even gave him gave him some shelter, because he led Kali to have his boat in those places where gold is. And maybe many of you ask them yourselves, why did it happen? Think what would have happened if Maharaja Parikshit would never let Kali have those places rule. What do you think? What was the reason that Maharaja Parikshit let Kali, gave him that shelter and let him leave? What was the reason for that?
Because they thought that it was God's plan, it is going to come, and okay, that I'm a Vaishnava, so perhaps I should be compassionate. Instead of it spreads those places.
That's completely correct. Maharaja Parikshit, as a true Vaishnava, he saw that it was Krishna's will, that it was Kali's time to come. So he let him survive. And even though it cost him his own life, because Kali arranged it like that, that Maharaja Parikshit had to die. That story. So Vaishnava can be merciful towards the others, even though it can cost him his own life. On the contrary, some other people, they may not have such qualities as Vaishnavas, but just accidentally they might look like Veeras or heroes, as Maharaja Parikshit was. There was one story, it happened in a village, in maybe Indian village, I don't know exactly, but it was a place, where it was a dry well. And it was a little boy who just fell into that dry well. Such things happen. And some people, like villagers, came and they were standing around, gathering around, discussing what to do, and as it usually, happens, they just stay there, they're staying and they're just saying to each other, you have to do something. And they explain how that other person has to do something to rescue that boy, but nobody does anything. And then there comes a young boy, hurrying up, coming, he's making his way through that crowd, coming to the edge, just have a look to what is going on here, and suddenly he just jumps down and rescues that boy. And everything, when they come up, congratulates him and saying, you're such a hero, you arrested that boy. But this young man, he sees like looks very angry, and he says, "What? I did not jump down. I want to see that guy who pushed me down." So he did not that out of compassion. It was just an accident, but pure devotees of Krishna, they have such qualities naturally. Probably a pure Vaishnava would have jumped down there by himself without being pushed down. How long have you been practicing bhakti yoga? Many years? Some months?
Forever.
Whole life? I would like you now again to talk like you four, you three, and you both. Maybe you can join, yes. Just speak about three things, good things which happened to you after you started practicing bhakti yoga. After you came in contact with the devotees, three things, good things that happened, positive things. Please, just 1 minute. Yeah. Did you hear the...
Okay, which good thing happened to you?
I hear.
just discuss.
Three good things that happened.
So for
I got married.
started my career, now I like to sometimes I do now that change it. So that's not I try to follow, not 100%, but and sometimes that
All my life, since I was 3 or 4 years old, used to go to
not exactly same because it is not good, but then I try to put that forward in some way and then try to get the answer that is not
Things that happened to you after studying the practice of bhakti yoga.
I'm not putting it
It was very
that this became
After starting bhakti
So
yoga.
then
What happened? You get better relationship with the boss?
Honestly, a lot of complicated things have happened to me since starting because I think that Krishna, it's a test, test of your faith and
There are many things.
Just one.
I met other devotees.
sometimes
I feel like mostly I've had a lot of tests, like burning karma, I think.
but now I especially before I sleep at night,
My life happened.
I think like that.
One of the best speed of my life.
Not necessarily from practicing bhakti, just
I don't have any word.
in my life.
Do you need some more time? Or
Nice experience.
can be...
I don't appreciate it. The people.
Yeah.
So, I just want to ask every one of you of one of the most important of these three. Can you please tell us one of these three most important for you?
I cannot say that it's been a massive difference and I'm a different person altogether or like I'm very positive, but maybe I would say that if I have to choose one, or maybe if I can say two, one thing is that I'm a little short-tempered. So previously, if if I would lose my temper or I would get angry, I would say, yeah, I was angry. But now at least I feel that if I was angry with a person or angry with a situation, especially before I sleep, I feel, maybe it wasn't so good. Maybe I should have been a little bit more careful, or maybe I could have done it a little differently. And the second thing I want to say is that after the Sankirtan, I love the Sankirtan, so I feel joy in my heart.
Yeah. So it's more self-control and a feeling of happiness, satisfaction. Yeah, that's very nice. Thank you. What about you, Ekta? One.
Yeah.
Good thing which happened to you. The most important.
So I think positive, or if I think sometimes negative, and then I chant Hare Krishna. So this is when I think negative. And she thinks more positively now.
More positive thinking. Yeah, that's very, very good. What about you? You're probably you.
Yes.
Yes. Have you noticed any changes?
I think somewhere this going to the community is more positive.
More positive, yeah. So it has some impact on your life, which you notice.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nice. What about you?
Now that I think about it, I think chanting japa especially is the most important thing for me. That it's been something which has gone up and down throughout my journey with Bhakti Yoga over the last
What does
12 years.
chanting give you? Like, what is it?
No, the japa, I really realized how it makes a difference in my life, because I've been up and down with, how good I'm doing on my japa. At some points I've been totally without japa for many months, like in the past, and then it's a process to.
Some meditation.
So when getting back into japa, it's really like feeling that you can surrender and feeling like, okay, whatever happens, Krishna, it's in your hands. I have to accept that it's just. So what is the good thing? I guess it's peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
Yeah.
Peace of mind.
Yeah.
So you're more peaceful.
Just feeling like I have to accept what happens in my life.
Exactly. It's like many devotees, they become free from anxiety.
Yeah.
They become so peaceful. Like people in general, they suffer so much from anxiety. They can't sleep at night. They take antidepressants, they take medicines in order to get rid of this feeling. While the devotees, it is said they can sleep anywhere and at any time. They are free from anxiety. And it was even a story that it was a devotee who during a kirtan, he was like very, very much enthusiastic, and he was jumping and singing, but while landing he was falling asleep because he was so peaceful. Free from any kind of anxiety. What about you, Priya?
It's like Mataji said, and you described, during the kirtan, you just simply disconnect with the outer world, and you enjoy yourself, you enjoy the motivation, and you enhance your spiritual path towards Krishna Bodhite. I cannot extract any incidents from my life, but there are sometimes it happens that you feel the mercy. That's it.
That's wonderful. Yes, what about you?
So being respectful to the others and taking care of family and enjoying every moment with family.
So it gives you like motivation to be respectful and to be take care of you. Be responsible. It's very nice. What about you?
Feeling more appreciation for other people.
Yeah, thankfulness. Yeah, gratefulness.
Yeah, that has increased.
It's a very huge quality of the Vaishnava. What about you?
Met devotees association.
Association, yeah. What about you, Dr.
Seva,
Seva, yeah?
that is a wonderful, I can say.
Having possibility to, yes, yes. Admiral Prabhu.
I changed my immediately. I changed my life when I tasted prasadam. Immediately, I was very worried that my bad habit of time couldn't change, but when I tasted prasadam, all stopped immediately, and I understood the power of the process.
Yeah, process, yeah, exactly. What about you?
Yeah, it is very difficult to sum up in one, but I'll say that many misconceptions that I had, it has been cleared out. For example, I used to think that why the spiritual master, why do we need it when we have got the God? Why that it got, you need to have that. So, okay, if you go more into the spirituality, you go away, you start ignoring the family. It was a misconception if you go into that, but it got clear that no, when you start following this, then you become actually more, you give more time, you see that, okay, this is a duty that he has given. So, yeah, many misconceptions got cleared. Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, so I stopped worrying a lot of things. Earlier I used to have a lot of options, but now I'm more settled. I think of like how Gita will advise me. So I use a lot of things now, and I think I get it more on as per the books, what is right. So I apply that and I go for my office or whatever it is, my day-to-day life.
Yes. When did you start?
I started like since beginning, like when I was kid, we used to follow those traditions which we have in our home. But I was more inclined when I came to Pune, and I had a hobby of just playing music. So, and then I started joining the Pune, and we had a very good group there. So that way I got more interest in the Krishna side. Earlier I was more on Ram and that side. There's no difference at all, but it's not more getting into more because we have Gita now. So if you read one chapter or one slok daily, I think you more positive vibes.
Yes. And what about you?
I think it's like in the first place maybe the feeling of presence of God, because I was like born and raised in a society of like history of 70 years of atheism. Yeah, and my father was a part of secret religion. It wasn't like officially banned, but like unspokenly it was kind of banned. I mean, the people who were like practicing, it wasn't encouraged, so to say. Yeah, you can have troubles. Yeah, this is the first thing, and second thing is like I remember there's some kind of hankering in my childhood to like to perfect your life, and I tried different things like maybe martial arts, Eastern philosophy, and so on, of course. But I think that the most like fundamental approach and ABC of God science was given by Prabhupada.
I think I myself just found meaning in life by journeying. And actually I had found it, but I just developed further my knowledge about God. So actually Prabhupada gives a very detailed knowledge about God, about all these new topics, much profound understanding and everyday practice. Something you don't maybe find in your modern life, or even like in the religious life outside of Krishna or Krishna consciousness. So just to conclude, we were speaking about these 26 wonderful Vaishnava qualities and how importance of developing these qualities, and on the other hand, if you meet such a person If you meet such a person who has such qualities, it is said in Čtení Čitavrita, Madhya Lila, Satusanga, Sarva Shastra Karam, Lava Matra Satusangam, Sarva Siddhi Hayam. It means that even a moment, Lava Matra, it's not a second, it's 1/11 of a second. If you are so lucky that you meet such a person who has such qualities, just grab this opportunity because by this association, such an exalted person Vaishnava, you will attain all success. Sarva Siddhi. Krishna, thank you. Then we will just continue, go to the next part of our program.
It was very nice to have this kind of, session.
Hare Hare इस भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शिवा प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य तथा श्री श्री मारी स्वामी वैष्णव भक्तिवेदांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की इस कम्युनिटी संत भक्ताचार्य शिवा प्रभुपाद की नमाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से हो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपनाथ श्याम कुमार राधा कुमार गिरि गोवर्धन की वृंदावन नाम की मथुरा नाम की नवद्वीप नाम की कर्णपुरी राम की गंगमाई की यमुनामाई की तुलसी देवी की रामसी देवी की हरि नाम संकीर्तन की बिहार मेरी रंग की समवेत भक्तवृंद की गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to the assembled devotees all glories to Shri Shri Gauranga Ranga all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Namaste.